So the first card you have your past is death. Okay, so obviously death is, an ending. And so yeah, the big thing about the death card is it's final. Death's final. There's no going back, obviously. And I think you took that step. I think you're like, no, there's no going back. I'm moving on. I'm moving on from someone. You moved on from someone. I don't think it's what you wanted. I don't think you wanted to do that. Obviously no one wants death, but when it comes, it comes. You can't do anything about that. That's just how it is, obviously. So it was something that had to happen. That's what I'm getting. It's something that had to happen. You didn't want to leave this person. You didn't want to have to do that, but you had to. You had to. That's how you felt. And you couldn't go back. I'm actually getting that that saying, I can't come back from this. You might have been thinking, I can't come back from this. Maybe they did something terrible. And it was like, no, I could come back from all the other things, but I can't come back from this. And that's what death is. And this is another thing I'm getting here. It's almost like you changed when you were with them. You didn't like who you were becoming. So it's kind of like they sent you off on this negative spiral. And you're not usually negative. You're usually quite a positive person. But I think because of their behaviour, it made you have all these negative thoughts and negative feelings all the time. And usually you're not like this cynical old person, but you're like, oh, that must be bad, and oh, I'm so angry and I'm so frustrated, and maybe this will probably go wrong again, and that'll go wrong again, and oh, this person this, and I'm a little bit jealous, they're all happy, and you're not like that at all. But I think around this person, it made you kind of spiral into that kind of negativity. And it looks like maybe they tried to get you back as well. They didn't want you to leave, but you had to. I keep on getting this. I have to leave. I have to do that because I have to get myself back. I lost myself. I went into this spiral, this negative spiral, and now I have to get out of this to get myself back. That's what I'm getting really, really strongly. Because, obviously they wanted you back, because I'm just looking at this Pope or this Bishop or whoever this is on his knees. He's in front of death. He's saying, no, spare me. So they really, really, really didn't want you to leave. They didn't want you to go, but you had to. You had to. Okay, I'm getting headaches. Headaches in the morning, waking up with a headache. So it might be that, you had, maybe they gave you a headache, metaphorically. But I think you had actual real headaches. I think you did have literal headaches. This is when you're around them. And I think now as well, even when you've left, I think you still get them. I'm getting this. I know this is probably not going to be for everyone, but taking a little bit more medication than you wanted to. So it's like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. I have to keep functioning. I've got this big headache. I don't want to take all this medication. But I can't. I haven't got time to lie down. I haven't got time to do this. I have to get back to work. I have to do what I need to do. So I have to do this. So there's a lot of that in this card. I don't want to do this, but I have to. I have to. So yeah, I think you might be still be getting some of these headaches. Obviously I have to say this, see a doctor if it's serious, obviously. But yeah, as you move forward, I think the stress will move away from you eventually. If this is you, but you're still kind of moving on from this. So that's what I'm getting in that card. Yeah, very stressful. And I've got to say, just looking over this whole reading, it does look like quite a stressful reading. So just a warning. Okay, so the next card you have your past, the Hierophant. Okay, so yeah, this is about, it can be about rules, it can be about organised religion, education sometimes, lots and lots of things. Okay, I think this is about a person again, but I don't think it's about the same person in the death card. But it might be someone who relates to them. Maybe it's a relative, maybe it's someone they know. It really feels like leaving this person in the death card and leaving a lot of other people as well at the same time. So Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, I'm literally seeing a church, actually. So there's some kind of, yeah, someone's really, really vocal, really vocal. It's like, I know what's right, I know what's wrong, lots and lots of doctrine. What I mean by that is, they're interested in rules, they're interested in religious do's and don'ts. It's all about rules, it's all about what's written down. Nothing's about the spiritual. Or that's the impression they give off. It's like, no, the rule says that, that's wrong, and you're doing that wrong. So I'm getting all kinds of talk like that. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm seeing someone really, really like that. And, for any kind of religious belief or whatever it is, it doesn't matter what religion it is, if you're not putting the heart first, and spirituality and understanding of, humans and caring and all that kind of thing, if that's not first, it becomes meaningless. It really becomes meaningless. It's all about rules. And I think that's how you felt about this person. It's like, you're all about rules. What about the heart? What about spirituality? And I think, I think they're really, really loud, this person, and they're still like this. They're really loud, they're very rigid, and I think there's something they wouldn't like people to know they're doing, actually, and that's why they're like that. And a lot of the time you'll find that, not all the time, but a lot of the time you'll find the people who are really, really loud about what everyone else should do, usually they're hiding something themselves. Not always, but I think definitely with this person it was like that. I think there was some problem they had actually around money. I think they still do. I'm seeing them being propped up, actually, so maybe someone tried to prop them up. Now, again, it looks like they're connected to this person you left in some way. They might be related. It might be that you left a whole system. Maybe you left a church system, because it feels like all this happened at the same time. You left, or you took a break from whatever's happening in the Hierophant, this person, and the Death card at the same time. I just want to say this. I don't have anything against the church or religion or anything like that. Everyone follows whatever's right for them. That's absolutely fine. But sometimes some of the individuals in these institutions, not all, but some, they might not be practicing what they say they are. And that's what I'm seeing here with this particular individual. Not everyone, just this individual person. And that's what I'm getting all over this. It's like I'm cutting out this falseness. I'm cutting out people who put on a facade. You've got no time for that anymore. And that's all part of getting yourself back again. Because I think, you lost yourself with this person in the Death card. You became this person you weren't really happy with. You didn't like who you were becoming. And now you're getting that back again, and you're cutting out any of this falseness. So that's what I'm getting in that card. Okay, so the last card you have your pasts, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so I think when you are getting out of this situation in the Death card, I'm seeing a lot of money, strictness around money, having to save, being careful of spending, all that kind of thing. So it might be that you had some kind of joint money situation with this person, and when you left, you had to be mindful of the money. Maybe you had to divide your money up or something like that. Yeah, it feels quite stressful emotionally, actually. It's like, yeah, this is what it feels like. It feels like, oh, I have to be careful. I have to be really careful of what I say. Or, because it might cost me later. So it looks like you're in some kind of a process, or you were at this time. I don't know if you're still in this now. But you wanted to say something. You wanted to say things to them. There's a lot of anger here, actually. But you weren't able to say what you wanted to say because you thought it might affect your future. So it might be that you're in some kind of money negotiation with this ex or whoever this is, and you kind of had to be calm. You have to be balanced and very careful of what you say and what you do, because you want to come out better in the end, financially and otherwise as well, in other things as well. So, you know, you're not normally the kind of person who lashes out. You're not like that at all. But again, this person made you change into another person, not literally, but you felt the change in yourself. And so with this, it's like, I'm not normally someone who lashes out, and I'm not normally angry, but because of this person, because of their behavior, it's making me feel like that. So I'm trying to put a lid on that, so that what happens to me in the future is better. You know, I'm better off than how things are now. So I hope that makes sense to you. So if you're doing that, if you're keeping a lid on your temper, if you're being careful of what you say around this person, keep on doing that, because I think you're right, if that resonates with you. So, okay, so we'll go on to the next card, which is the Page of Wands. So, yeah, the first card you have for your present is, the Page of Wands. So, okay, so it feels a bit like this axe. It feels like they're a little bit, they're not trapped. I'm not getting that. It's more like there are things they'd like to do, but they can't do them right now. And I think maybe it's because you're both in this kind of financial stalemate that I was seeing in the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, it looks like they're kind of hanging in there as well. There are things they'd like to do. They want to go and do all these different things, but they can't spend right now. They can't go and do what they want because they're kind of locked into this situation with you. So it is going to come to an end eventually. I'm seeing that. I'd love to be able to tell you it's going to come to an end tomorrow. I think it might be, it might drag on a little bit actually. But, you know, again, you're doing the right thing by not saying anything, because I think if you started getting angry and you started having arguments, that would definitely drag this whole thing out. So you're absolutely right. So the more peaceful this is, the better the result at the end. So again, I'm seeing that there. Yeah, there's something else here. It's a bit of a kind of like a fish out of water feeling. I don't know if there's a group around you. Might be a lot of different people or a lot of different groups around you that you feel as if you don't quite fit in with. You know, you're a very unique person. You've got a really unique way of seeing things, and you're not a unique way of seeing things. And yeah, you're a bit of a chameleon actually. You know, you blend in quite easily on the surface. You can fit into all kinds of different groups if you need to, and you've had to do that, you know, in the workplace and other things. But that's just on the surface. You don't really totally blend in. You know, your heart doesn't blend in with other people. It's just on the surface. Because if you look at this page, he's standing around in the desert where it's obviously really hot, but he's got these heavy winter clothes on, so he doesn't fit in his environment. He might blend in because he's got all these kind of warm colours on, which are blending in with the desert, but he's hot, he's not comfortable. So yeah, I keep on seeing all this change you're going through. It's like, I'm getting rid of all the falseness, all the fakes, everything like that. And, you know, it's probably taking you a bit of time to do this. But, and, you know, you're quite a diplomatic person. You don't want to hurt people. So this is probably taking time. You're probably being careful in the way that you, you know, get out of certain relationships. But I think eventually you'll find yourself just with real people around you, and that's what you're heading toward. Obviously, you know, in the workplace and in family, you can't pick and choose who you have around you all the time. Sometimes you can, but not always. But with the people you choose, you are going to end up with more real people. You're going to have less people, but they're going to be real people. And yeah, eventually you'll feel more and more comfortable in yourself as you kind of go through this process. And eventually you'll be able to relax a lot more and be yourself a lot more. And I'm seeing that in the Empress card. I'm just looking across and you can see how relaxed the Empress is there. So that's what you're heading toward. That's your future. So at the moment in the Page of Wands, you're not all that comfortable, but then you're heading to the Empress who's, you know, and she's totally comfortable. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a little bit of, I want to say warning, but it's not a warning because I think you probably already know a bit about this. Now, this has been going on for a while, I think. It's been brewing. bit like a pot of tea, and it's about to be stirred up. So something's going to stir all this up, I think. So just be aware of something being stirred up. Obviously, this is all about money. It looks like someone might be holding on to some money, or they might be preventing money from getting to the right people, actually, because it's like, if you look at this card, it's a real imbalance. It's like all the coins are on one side, not as many on the other side. You've got this imbalanced scale, and obviously he's giving money to one person and not the other one. So there's money that's supposed to go to some people, and they're not. There's prevention, and I think someone's forming some kind of a barrier between this money and the right person it's supposed to be going to, if that makes sense. So I think you've always known this person's a little bit shady, or they're doing something that's not quite right, but I don't think you've acted. It's like, I know this is happening, I've got a sense of this happening, I haven't acted on this because firstly, I'm not sure what I should do. Secondly, I don't know if it's me that should be doing this. And the whole thing's just really stressful, and I don't want to go into that. And you've already got all this other stressful stuff happening, so obviously if you've got that going on, you probably don't feel like getting into this right now. But I think you might have to, actually. I'm sorry about all this stress, but this is what I'm seeing. Do you know what I'm seeing? It looks like they might have to come, and they might have to come and speak to you, actually. Yeah, they're going to ask you something. They need to know something. You've got the answer, and they need to know. That's what I'm seeing. They need to know what this is. You've got some information, or you've got something like that, and there's no other way. They can't find this out any other way. They're going to have to ask you. So when this person contacts you, if this is all resonating, if you know what this says, when they contact you, when they ask you this, it's going to be an awkward conversation, I can see that, but I think this might be an opportunity for you to open this conversation up about this money, or this, whatever this is. Now, you're not a manipulative person, I know that, but I think they are. I think they're manipulative, especially if they're playing games with money, or they're withholding money, they're stopping it from getting to the right person. That's manipulative. So it might be that you can use what they want to know as a sort of bargaining tool, if that makes sense. So it's like, okay, so you want to know this information, so maybe you'd better tell me what's happening with this. And yeah, I know that sounds really manipulative, but with these kinds of people, when they're playing you, sometimes you have to play back, and I think this is one of these times. So if this is you, I know this probably sounds a little bit confusing. I hope I've explained it properly, but expect a message or a phone call or something like that, probably sometime this month, probably toward the end of this month. Yeah, I'm seeing a late night call or a late night message, very, very late at night. So watch out for that. When you get this message, I think you might feel a little bit anxious, but I think this is being brought to you as an opportunity to make things fair, or to get things back into balance again. So that's what I'm seeing there. And you're probably thinking, why does it have to be me that does this? But yeah, it looks like it's being brought to you so that you can sort this out. Sorry to say, I know you don't want stress, I know that, but that's what I'm seeing. So, okay, so the last card you have, your presence, the Star. Yeah, I think they're going to be quite surprised at how strong you are, actually. This person in the Six of Pentacles. You can be a little bit of a quiet person. You don't come out yelling and screaming and saying, oh, I want my say, this is what I have to. You're not like that. And I think people like that, like this person in the Six of Pentacles, they think you'll just, they think you'll just roll over and do whatever they say. But you're not going to do that. You're absolutely not. And, because if you look at this woman, obviously she's feminine, she's very beautiful, she's quiet, she's just by herself, but she's very resilient. There's an ibis there, and it's just behind her elbow. And ibis are extremely resilient. They can survive just about anything. And that's you. You can survive just about anything. So you're going to be really strong in this. And the other thing is, obviously, she's naked, so she's got nothing to hide. And again, I'm seeing all this, it's all over this reading, shedding of falseness, shedding of any fakeness. So you'll get to the bottom of this and you'll get to the truth of this. Because there's lots of shadiness, lots of lies, all that kind of thing. So you're getting to the truth and you're not going to crack. You're not going to crack under their pressure. I think they're going to try and pressure you. They're going to be a little bit chaotic and difficult and all that, but you're not going to crack. I'm seeing that really, really, really clearly. And again, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But yeah, you're very resilient. And I think you might be surprised at your own resilience, actually. But yeah, the balance is going to be restored. So I was seeing that in the Six of Pentacles, and I'm seeing that here as well, because she's got this woman's got two jugs of water, and she's balanced. So one's going into the water, the other one's on the earth, exactly the same amounts of water. So she's balancing everything out. So that balance is going to be restored. Sorry. So yeah, I hope that all makes sense to someone, because I think that message has to go out to someone, because there's some money that's supposed to be going to the right people or the right place, and someone's holding on to that, or they're being quite shady, and it needs to come back into balance. Okay, so the first card you have for your futures, the Empress. I don't know what's wrong with my words today. I think I'm a bit tired. Just bear with me. The Empress. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful card. Again, this is a very relaxed, beautiful woman. She's a mother. She's nurturing, she's caring, all that kind of thing. I think there's a love connection here. It feels like that. There's some connection with children here, I think. I don't know if they have children, or maybe you both have children, this person. Yeah, I don't know how stable this is. I have to tell you the truth here. It feels a little bit like an encroachment. Yeah, I think this is either very early days, or maybe you're just talking to them. Maybe you're just thinking about getting to a relationship with someone. You're not sure about it or something. This is if you're single, obviously. Now, because I'm getting this feeling of encroachment, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this person. It just feels a little bit like someone's encroaching on my time, on my space. That's how I'm getting. I've got my space and someone's kind of pushing in. That's what I'm getting. So, you're out of this old situation in the Death card, and you're getting yourself back together again. You're finding yourself. You're kind of settling back into yourself like this beautiful Empress. So it might be that it's just too early for you to get into a relationship, or it might be that your instincts are telling you that maybe they're not right for you. Might be that. Because she's so comfortable. She's just so comfortable all by herself. And it looks like you've been not compromising yourself, but having to blend in with other people. I was seeing that in the Page of Wands. Having to blend in, having to put other people first, thinking about all these other people before you. Because if you look at her again, she's got this crown, she's wearing this crown, and there are 12 stars on the crown. And obviously that represents the 12 signs of the zodiac. So her head is with all these other people. She's caring for all these other people. And I think that's what you've been doing. And it's time to put yourself first now. It's time to put yourself above these other people. Rest on yourself. Be yourself.